Hi guys, welcome to my channel and to my journey in beauty. Today's video is the second get ready with me in my little series about Christmas movies. And today's movie is a funny one. It is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Hip hip hooray for Christmas vacation.
In case you missed my Grinch get ready with me, I'm going to link it up in the cards for you and also tell you that I announced in that video that I will be doing a get ready with me video every single week in 2019, and I'm kicking off that series here in December with a different Christmas movie inspired look every single week. Last week we did The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, and this week we are doing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This movie came out in 1989. I was 7 years old, but I love it. We watch it every single year at least once, and it's just a favorite of mine. I'm not big on comedy, so it's kind of unusual that I would watch a movie like this so regularly, but let's go ahead and dive into it. I have some fun things planned for today. Hopefully it all works out. I do have primer, foundation, and bronzer and brows on. Nothing exciting there. Now we're going to start with blush, and I'm using a couple of cream products this week. These cream products definitely languish in my collection, so I decided to use them as a base this week, and then we're going to go over them with powder products. So the blush I'm using is the Ulta Lip and Cheek Color Stick in the shade Punchy. And this is a really nice formula, even though I don't use it a whole lot. It's not because it's not a good product, it's because I am so in the habit of powdering my face right after I apply foundation, so it's just kind of, you know, getting used to it basically. So, and again, we're going for very rosy cheeks this week. This look is kind of going to be like a everything but the kitchen sink look, if you will. So it's a nice little flush of color. I may have to put this in my shop, my stash for January, just to get some use out of it, find the ways that I like to use it, as well as, you know, kind of break that mindset of, okay, foundation and then right away powder. So, ta-da! I really like this actually. And this is just an e.l.f. small stipple brush. Go in now with this Milk Makeup highlighting stick in the shade Lit. So while I was looking for graphics for my video today, I came across an article, and I will link it down in the description box in case you're interested, and of course to give due diligence to the person that wrote it. But it's called 15 Things You Didn't Know About National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So I thought it would be fun if we went ahead and talked about a few of the things you might not know about the Christmas Vacation movie. But first I'm going to go in with my Butter Blush in the shade Vintage Rouge. Definitely a favorite of mine. And of course the fact that it smells like butter bronzer is, you know, just a little extra. So anyways, number 5 on this list of things is, it says the test audience for Christmas Vacation scored the cat electrocution scene as their favorite part of the entire movie. I don't find that part funny. I mean, I don't find the cat part funny, but sort of the ensuing madness as the, you know, cat has had the mishap, and, you know, just the family all freaking out and whatever. That part is funny, but I am, you know, you guys have seen Lucille in the background. She's my baby, and so I don't find the electrocution part very funny, but it is a funny scene in the movie. So you guys remember that scene? Definitely probably wouldn't have been my choice for the funniest scene in the movie, but to each their own. All right, Next, I'm gonna go into my Becca Prosecco Pop. I talked about this in my things I was looking forward to wearing this fall, but I actually didn't wear it a lot, and now I'm thinking this will be perfect for the Christmas season. I got this in BoxyCharm, so it's not a product that I picked for myself, and therefore I don't find myself reaching for it all that often, but we're gonna go gold today with the highlight. So National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was actually only one of only 2 Christmas movies released in the year of 1989, which is kind of odd if you think about it. I mean, think about how many new Christmas movies are coming out this year. I could think of at least a handful. But anyway, so the other movie that was released that year, I actually remember going to see in the theater as a kid, which, you know, honestly was really saying something because we didn't go to the theater very often. I'm one of 4 kids, so, you know, 4 kids and 2 adults to go to the theater is kind of a lot. So anyways, I do remember going to see this movie, but it is called Prancer. Do you guys remember that movie about the little girl who discovers a reindeer? And I don't remember, you know, the details of the movie. I just remember she found and kind of was keeping under wraps a reindeer in this shed in the woods. So if you're an 80s kid, do you remember that movie? Because I definitely do. In fact, I've watched it with both of my kids as they've gotten older. Boom, highlighter down. Now we're going into eyes, except for I'm unprepared. So I'm going to be using both my Pan That palettes, my one for this year and my one for next year. And I'm going to try a new technique today, so hopefully you guys will be patient and supportive of me because I'm excited to try it. But first we're going to go in with the shade Tawny, which I'm trying to hit pan on before the end of the year. I'm going to use that as a nice warm transition shade, as well as to blend out the deepest shade that's going to go out the outer V. So the next thing that I thought was kind of interesting little factoid is that the budget for National Lampoon Christmas Vacation was $27 million back in 1989 when it was released. And it says, in comparison, the Ghostbusters movie with all of the special effects and, you know, complicated photography and stuff that they had in that was $30 million. So I find it really interesting that Lampoon was, you know, that much, because there really wasn't a lot of special effects in that movie. You know, the set doesn't look like it was, you know, expensive to make because it's a house. Now we're gonna go into the Jaclyn Hill palette. In case you missed it, I'm panning this next year and I'll put it up in the cards for you. I think the shade we're gonna go in with first is the shade Meeks, which is this shade right here. It's a dark brown, but it is a warm brown. I'm gonna work that onto my outer corner as well as a little bit into the crease. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting that the movie had that high of a budget. Now, I don't know if that includes, I'm gonna assume that it doesn't include paying the actors, because the next little factoid talks about that this movie was actually full of elite Hollywood actors and actresses. I mean, some of them have become more and more so, you know, closer to the present day, but I found that really interesting. See, look, you can use a shimmer in your crease. In fact, it's very, very handy. I think it's even easier a lot of times than putting a matte in the crease, personally. And I think it gives a little interest too. I feel like I'm on a roll today. Probably shouldn't have said anything. I'm just softening the edges with no additional product. All right, Gonna blend out this shade Meeks that I just used with the Tawny shade again. And then we're gonna get into the fun part, and it could be a complete fail, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. You guys are all probably like, come on, tell us already. All right, enough chatting. Let's go back into Jacqueline here. And the eye look that I'm gonna try to do today is a two-toned eye. So on the lid on this side, I'm gonna do red. Other side, I'm gonna do green. Underneath the green eye, I'm gonna do red. And underneath the red eye, I'm going to do green. We're gonna give it our best shot. So here goes nothing. But I do think I'm gonna go in with my finger, at least initially, and I'm gonna take this shade, which is Cran Apple. Yes, and it's just a nice cranberry shade, if you can imagine. The next one I thought was funny, and they do have the link underneath for this website they're talking about, but they said that there is actually a website that is 100% dedicated to buying products related to the National Lampoon Christmas Vacation movie. Anybody else ever feel like their fingers are too big to apply shadows to their lid? Because I definitely feel that way sometimes. All right, we've got Cran Apple on one side. Now we're gonna go on the other side, and the shade I'm gonna use is one of my favorites in the palette. It's this one right here called Diva. Like I said, it may end up being a train wreck, but at least we tried. I just love these kind of two-toned looks when I see them on other people. So I'm gonna take the brush that I applied the dark shade Meeks and just blend out the crease a little bit. I tried not to go up too far, but 'tis life, you know? The green definitely went up too far. All right, now we're gonna go into this dark coffee shade called Central Park. And I'm hoping this is what's going to tie the two eyes together, is that depth and anchor, whoa, on the outer V. We were definitely listening to Christmas music at our house this morning. And my son's got it on, I had it on while I was doing my base. Oh, this was really interesting. The woman who plays Aunt Bethany, which is the really old senile aunt that brings the Jello mold wrapped as a gift and the cat in the Jello mold or whatever. She is the original voice for Betty Boop. I thought that was really cool. It's hard to imagine her as, you know, this young, vibrant Betty Boop voice, you know, since in the movie she's such a old lady, but I thought that was a really interesting little factoid. I'm gonna go back into my brush that I used with Tawny, but no additional product, and just work on blending. And then the other thing that I thought was interesting, and I was like, huh, yeah, that is right. So Cousin Eddie, who is played by, what is his name? I don't remember his name. Cousin Eddie, the slouch mooch of a cousin that shows up and sort of uses and takes everything that isn't nailed down at Chevy Chase's house. He has two kids. The little girl is the one that's like concerned about Santa finding her and whatever. But the son, his name is Rocky, and turns out, it says in here, he doesn't talk ever in the whole film. No, not one single line. I thought that was really interesting because I didn't even notice. I'm gonna do the lower lash line real quick. First, I'm gonna go into the Central Park shade and just put that on the outer third. And even maybe punch up the outer V a little bit with it. You always wanna make sure that your lower lash line connects with your outer V. Otherwise, it's gonna kind of look like things are just floating. According to Mr. Wayne Goss, anyway. I'm interested to know if any of you are fans of the movie. Did you ever notice that the kid doesn't talk? Because I didn't, and I probably have seen the movie 50 times. So, all right, now we've got that. I'm gonna take Tawny on the same brush and smudge that out a little bit. And we are still going in with the other colors on the lower lash line, but this is just kind of the base. I'm gonna go in first with the green on this side. Wow, that got way thicker than I wanted it to, but I guess we are going editorial with this, are we not? All right, wiping my brush off a little bit and going into crayon apple again and do the same thing on the other eye. Besides looking like I got punched in the eye, I think it's pretty. Okay, now back into my Lorac. We are going to use the shade Prosecco, one, because you'll be able to see it from space, and two, because I'm painting it. So I'm first wrapping this around the tear duct. I'm just carrying it up just the tiniest bit on the lid. That's kind of fun. And then I'm going to put just the tiniest bit right here in the inner cavern area. Maybe bring this up a little bit, like I like to do. I forgot to put my autofocus lock on. I just realized that, so hopefully I'm not going in and out of focus. Apologize. As an ode to National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, their Christmas tree, which has everything except the kitchen sink on it, I am going to be using this gold eyeliner from Wet n Wild. This is their Mega Liner Metallic Liquid Eyeliner in the shade Golden Goddess. I picked this up a while ago, so I'm gonna give it my best shot. I'm gonna speed through this part for your benefit and mine. And here we go. Not crazy about the wing, but it'll do. I do like the look, though. I think you can see it there. Definitely got some in my lashes. Next, we're going to do mascara, and for this, I also have a little treat, and it is the L'Oreal Voluminous Original in the shade Burgundy. You would have seen this in the My Daughter Picks My Makeup. She picked the burgundy one for me because she knows it's new and I've been loving it. Or at least I think that's why she picked it. So I'm gonna curl my lashes and throw the mascara on, and then we will come back for lips. All right, we're looking very festive. Let's get a load of this eye look. I'm gonna go in with this Jean Bleu lip liner in the shade Brown Sugar. This is just a warm burgundy liner. Alrighty, there we go. And then this is a mystery lipstick. It's from the Sephora brand. It came in a friend's Sephora plate. It says Sephora Rouge Matte, but it doesn't have a shade name on it or anything. But it's burgundy and it's pretty dark, but I think it will be pretty with this. What do we think? I feel like we might need to zhuzh up the blush just one more time. My face seems to eat blush, or maybe I just don't know how to apply it properly, but I'm gonna do some research this week on that. last step, setting spray. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. It's just in a different bottle with a better mister. All right, what do we think? This is my everything but the kitchen sink. Look, I actually like how it turned out. I think the gold liner helped to tie the two eyes in with each other. Of course, I'm gonna enter some close-ups and better lighting as always. And I hope all of your makeup days are beautiful, festive makeup days. And I will see you in my next video soon. Bye!